Hi guys, welcome to another Horus Heresy box unboxing slash review. So what I have here today is a Deimos pattern Rhino. I just picked this up here the other day, paid 37 quid for it, so I think it's actually a little bit cheaper than a standard Rhino. If we flip it over then, the cellophane is still on the box here. So you can give it a Havoc missile launcher, a heavy bolter or a multi-melta. And then there's the mean looking dozer blade, and of course you get your Sons of Horus or Imperial Fists transfer sheet. So I'm going to take the plastic off and we're going to have a look at the kit that's inside. Okay guys, so I've just taken the cellophane off the box. So when you slide it out, you get a few sprues, and it's kind of in these trays which I always end up filling with parts and paints and loads of other stuff. So 1, 2, 3 sprues, instructions and the transfer sheet, which I won't be using. Okay, so the instructions, that's 2 cards. Right, so just having a quick look at the instructions here. I don't know what the thinking was behind this. It seems to go together similar enough to the old Rhino where the two halves clip together. The only thing that I'm not liking is you have to build, or you have to glue in the intersection where the door goes on both sides. Yeah, I don't like that, because on the old Rhino you just glued the two sides together. You didn't have to glue the sections into it. Yeah, this is similar enough to the Spartan assault tank, so you can have bolter, flamer, melta gun, plasma gun or a Volkite charger, and you can make that into a combi weapon as well, so that's pretty cool. Right, not going to worry about them. Sprues, let's have a look here. So that's the underside. Sorry, here's the top of the Rhino. It's not like the normal Rhino kit which has the kind of front slanted bits and the back slanted bits on it. This here is the middle section that we have to glue on now for the doors, which I presume are these bad boys here. Okay, so the top hatch looks similar enough to what it was on the original Rhino. Well, I say the original Rhino, but the Rhino I'd be used to building will be the latest version of it. And the side skirts here have a nice little metal texture on them. I love this front section. I think this is really cool compared to the old one. Well, the 40k one, I'll say. I love this. So that's sprue number 1. Sprue number 2 is similar to the Spartan assault tank. I actually think it is the same. So you have your Havoc launcher up here, you have your dozer blade, flamer here, heavy bolter, normal bolter to make combi weapons out of. There's the multi-melta here. So yeah, pretty much just your basic weapon upgrade sprue. You have a hunter killer missile, smoke launcher, searchlight. So same as the Spartans one. And then finally we have the big sprue. So yeah, you can see this bit here. I don't think there's going to be a lot of structural integrity in this when you cut it out, because you're missing the whole section here, so you're just relying on this to be solid enough. The underside has a nice bit of detail on it here. Smokestacks are pretty cool looking. What I did notice is the tracks are different. The other tracks for the 40k one have like lines on them, and there's a couple of Imperial Eagles spaced out between them. These ones, however, do not. That's just the same again for the other side. Interior, pretty sure that's similar enough to what we had originally. Back door looks exactly the same from the 40k versions. And we do have, which I didn't see in the box art, is the like the headlamps, which is the exact same as the 40k version. And then we flip it over, we have the intersection there, like a control panel on it. I think that's different to the original one. And then this bit here, if I'm not mistaken, is the front slanted piece to cover the tracks, which would make these small bits here the back pieces. I'm pretty sure you could have just left them on it, but look, it is what it is. Just a quick overview of the sprue. I'm going to pause the video here. I'm going to go build it and come back to you. Okay guys, so here we are. One built Rhino. I just stuck on the Havoc launcher bit because that just fits in nicely. I also built up a multi-melta just without a dude sitting on it because I didn't fancy putting the dude on this version of it, to be honest. I do have another option which I didn't. It's downstairs on a different board. I just built like a bolter one as well. So it's like one of these with just a bolter sitting on it. But here we go. So for my one, I like to give it loads of bits and bobs. So headlamps are on here, searchlight, standard hunter killer missile, gave it the main dozer blade. I'll put the smoke launchers on the side. I was debating whether or not to put like a marine hanging out here because you've somewhere to stand them, but I don't really want to be wasting marine bodies. I did glue the hatch shut because I'm not going to be painting the interior on my ones. And that's the other side of it there. Now just for comparison, so here's the tank tracks. Few issues I had with building this. So when I was pushing the side bits into this bottom piece, it didn't really fit too well. It took a lot of pressure and I was afraid something was going to snap with it. And I checked to make sure that everything was like trimmed enough to fit, and it's just a really tight fit. Like you probably could get away without gluing it, but I wasn't too comfortable doing that. The other thing then is when I'm gluing these bits on here on the back, there's not a lot of contact points. So it's like basically the thickness of this line here on the inside for it to sit on. And with the tank tracks, there's a piece that starts the tank track up here, it's flat. It has a very small contact point to start on as well when you're building it. So you'll see there's like a little notch, a knob kind of thing sticking out, basically like these things. Put your glue on that and sit the tank track on that to start your threads. It tells you to put like this piece on and then the bottom bit. I didn't. I went start a piece and work my way the whole way around, because otherwise if they didn't line up, like, it'd be a nightmare. So I wanted to avoid that. So we'll just stick the bits back on so you can have a look at it here. Because why wouldn't you want a multi-melta on the front of a Rhino that's running your troops up the board? Probably won't be able to afford it points wise on my list, but that's the Rhino. And then just for size comparison, you can see it there. This is just a Death Guard Rhino from the, well, it's not Death Guard, it's Death Guard coloured. It's basically the same size. There's just a couple of different differences in the detail. So obviously the front, I'm just going to take these off so they don't fall. The fronts are different here. So you can see this one's kind of more reinforced armoured compared to the standard 40k one. And then when we look at the sides, we have a few noticeable differences. So these have like the gear interlocked doors, so this is just a flat door. And the vents on the side, this one has vents in the front and back, whereas the 40k one doesn't. And then obviously the smokestacks are different. Back of it is pretty much the same, bar the tracks. So you can see the difference there in the tracks that I was talking about. You can see the 40k one has like lines on it, and this one just has dots. Does this have any aquillas on it? Doesn't look like it. Yeah, so that's it guys, pretty cool model. I do have two of these to build, so I'm going to go and get this primed and start building the second one so I can build and paint all my stuff together. And that's it for this video. Don't forget to like, comment and subscribe for more Horus Heresy content.